All right, Mr. Gurumurthy, my apologies. We got tied up in a contested probation hearing. You've had a chance to talk with your client. What's your pleasure?
We're gonna tender a no contest plea, and I believe Miss Goodrich may have the plea agreement from today, but it is to count one as a habitual third in file 257032FH. The prosecution agrees to dismiss 257031FH in its entirety. Parties agree to a sentence agreement of running the sentence in this case concurrent to the Charlevoix County case 2463714FH. The prosecutor also recommends a sentence towards the lower end of the guidelines. Ms. Juliet and I estimated the guidelines to be 19 to 58 months. There is no sentence agreement, and I believe Mr. Murday understands that. But I also did apprise Mr. Murday of our in-chambers conversation that we had last week. And I indicated that my takeaway from that conversation was that I didn't believe that the court would give Mr. Murday more than the 48 months that he got out of Charlevoix County. However, I understand it's not a sentence agreement, but that was part of the advice and the recommendations that the people in defense have reached.
Okay, very good. Mr. Murday, is that how you wish to proceed today?
I don't know if I'm supposed to put anything else on the record of my understanding of it, or if I'm supposed to just say yes.
Well, I'm just gonna, in a no contest plea, I'm not gonna ask you anything about what happened. But I am gonna ask you a few questions just to make sure that you understand your rights and what's going on. If at any point I ask you a question and you don't know whether you should answer it, you just let me know and you can talk to Mr. Gurumurthy, okay?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm just asking, do you want to go forward with this plea agreement today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. All right. Now, a no contest plea has the same legal effect as a guilty plea in terms of you being convicted and my authority to punish you for it. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So because some of the questions I ask you, I am required to have you under oath, but again, I'm not going to ask you anything about the circumstances of the case. Would you please raise your right hand for me, sir? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Murday, I have to advise you the maximum penalty that you could face for the charge that you're pleading no contest to, receiving, concealing stolen property over $1,000 as a habitual third. And it's a third offense, R and C. So it's the maximum penalty would be 20 years in prison and or a $15,000 fine or 3 times the value of the property. Do you understand that maximum?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you would have the right to have a trial, but if you plead no contest, you won't have a trial and you'll give up the rights you would have at that trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I want to remind you of the more important of those rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury and at that trial to be presumed innocent unless and until the prosecutor proved your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The right to have the witnesses against you appear and to question them. The right to present witnesses in your own defense and have me order them to show up. And the right to remain silent and not have that silence used against you or to testify in your own defense. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you wish to give up those rights and enter a no contest plea today?
Can I state a part of the agreement of my understanding of a part of it?
Yeah.
So I'm going still based a little bit off the information of the last plea from last week. And it states under the important notice, it says where there is a sentence agreement, neither party may propose a different sentence to the court, and either party will be entitled to withdraw the plea if the court chooses not to follow the sentencing agreement. Does that still apply in this plea?
No. Let me jump a little bit and I'll explain the plea agreement as I understand it here. You would plead no contest to the charge I outlined. In exchange, the prosecutor would dismiss 7031, which is the dangerous weapons case but any weapon seized, the metallic knuckles will be forfeited to the agency that seized it. There's an agreement, a sentence agreement that I would give you concurrent sentencing to Charlevoix County, and that any sentence I give you would be within the advisory guidelines, whatever they're scored at. If I didn't follow that, you could withdraw your plea unless you get in trouble between now and the sentence. As an additional term, the prosecutor is recommending a sentence near the low end of that guidelines range, which they estimate to be 19 to 57 months. If I did not follow that recommendation, you could not withdraw your plea thereby. I give a lot of weight to the prosecutor's recommendation, but a sentence agreement, you can withdraw the plea if I don't follow. A sentence recommendation, you may not. Do you understand the distinction, sir?
That's much more clear. Yes, Your Honor. And then one other thing, I was told I'd get time credited for the time in the county jail.
Well, there's nothing in the agreement about that, how that works. Any time that you sat on this case, you would be entitled to credit for that. However, once you've been sentenced by any other court, if you are serving a sentence in a jail, by law, I may not give you credit for that time. Your attorney can ask me to shave something off of the sentence I do impose to take account for that, but there's no legal requirement that I do so.
And then, Judge, I just wanted to make the record clear. I've advised Mr. Murday that pursuant to People v. Givens, he's not entitled to credit from the time he was sentenced in August in Charlevoix County. So he is essentially not getting any credit, but he would be entitled to credit, whatever that may be, pursuant to statute, prior to his sentencing in Charlevoix County for the time he sat in on these cases here in Sheboygan County and was incarcerated for that. So I just wanted the record to be clear that that's what I've indicated to him. I don't know what those days are; they have to be calculated. And as the court is aware, Mr. Murday has cases pending in Otsego and in Antrim County. So we're going to have to calculate all those dates and how those cases all with the date of incident to determine what proper credit is.
All right. So, Mr. Murday, I intend to and certainly would give you everyday credit that you are legally entitled to. When folks have cases in more than one county, sometimes the question of what they are legally entitled to gets a bit tricky. So we have to have everybody review the pre-sentence report and the timeline of that. You'll have an opportunity to review that with Mr. Gurmuthy, and he can present an argument at sentencing of what credit he thinks you're entitled to, as can the prosecutor, and I would make that determination. And that, of course, would be subject to appellate review if I'm wrong. Does that answer that question for you, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So did you want to waive your trial rights and go forward with this plea today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. And I would just ask that it be scheduled as soon as possible, whatever's easier for you guys, whether it's by Zoom or by transport.
Okay. If I accept your plea, you give up any claim that it was caused by any threats or by any promises that we have not put on the record today. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also, when you plead no contest, you lose the right to an appeal. And if you wanted an appeal, you'd have to seek permission to appeal by filing an application for leave. And the types of issues you could raise are much more limited than if you were convicted after trial. Do you understand that principle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any more questions for me about the terms of that plea agreement?
Just how soon you guys think it'd be before we can get us in for sentencing?
Oh, I'll pick it. I think probably the soonest we could would be December 2nd. You available that day, Mr. Gurmuthy? And if your client wants it by Zoom, I'm okay with that.
As long as we do it close to the end, Judge, about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I can do that by Zoom. And I did speak with Mr. Murday in our breakout room. He would waive his right to be present in person and participate by Zoom for his sentencing.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Murday, other than that plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead no contest?
No, not other than understanding that I wasn't gonna get more time than what I'm doing is only my only understanding of it.
Okay, has anybody threatened you to make you plead?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own free choice to enter that plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing all that, how do you wish to plead to the charge of receiving, concealing, third offense, habitual third, guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
Okay, I have reviewed the affidavit, which will mark as joint exhibit 1. And I do find that it establishes a venue, date, and the elements of the charged offense. Do you agree, Mr. Gurumurthy?
I do.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
And Mr. Gurumurthy, are you aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements?
I am not, Judge, and I should simply state the reason for the no contest plea is potential civil liability.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Ms. Goodrich, do you consent to that?
I do.
And Mr. Gurumurthy, do you believe I've complied with the requirements of MCR 6.302?
I agree, Judge.
Ms. Goodrich, do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Murday, I find that your pleas are knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily made, and that there is a sufficient basis, in fact, in law, to believe that you're guilty of that offense. So I hereby accept your plea of no contest. I'll schedule sentencing for December 2nd at 3:30 p.m. and we'll do that by Zoom. Mr. Murday, you would have the right to be physically present in court at a felony sentencing. You can waive that right and be sentenced by video if you wish. Do you have a preference?
I mean, if it ain't gonna drag it out, I'd rather be in person, but if that's harder to take because of scheduling it, then I would waive it if it's needed.
Okay, the soonest I could get you in for a pre-sentence report to be done would be December 2nd. Mr. Gurumurthy tells me it would only work that date if it's by Zoom. But it's your decision to make, Mr. Murday.
Whatever makes it go sooner, Your Honor. I'm fine with.
Okay, well, we'll schedule it by a video hearing then. And if you change your mind, you can let Mr. Gurumurthy know, he can let the court know, and we can put our heads together for something to do about that, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anything further from the defense?
No, sir, thank you.
Anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Murday, you have a good day, sir.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
have a good day, Mr. Gurumurthy.
You too. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Goodrich.
Thank you.